Welcome back to the 2016 TW Steel Daytona DMAX Championship. We're here for round 9 at Tamworth, and as you can see behind me, an exclusive SODI event is taking place out on track. We're just minutes away from the action, and up next is the Interheats, which is set to be a very interesting affair, purely because it was Lee Hollywood who was on top during the first 2 heats last time out at Wilton Mill. However, it was Oliver Peacock and Bobby Trunley who got the better of him in Heat 3. Now, Hollywood tried to fight back during the final. However, an ill-advised move caused him to be black flagged. He didn't come into the pit lane and was thus disqualified from the racing. So he's looking to try and get revenge here this weekend. Will that be the case? Let's go over and find out what happened. A very good afternoon, welcome back to the 2016 TW Steel Daytona DMAX Championship, live from round 9 at Tamworth. So a very exciting race that we had for the intermediate heats that took place earlier on this afternoon. In particular, the last heat, we saw a 3-way scrap between Lee Hollywood, Bobby Trunley and Luke Cousins, with the top 3 finishing in that order, separated by just a few tenths of a second. A very interesting few heats we've had. Dry conditions here this afternoon at the Daytona circuit after it being very wet earlier on this morning, and especially during the endurance races, which you'll have seen, of course. I'm sure they were quite different out on track compared to what it's like now. But this is how the grid lines up for the final of the intermediate heats. It's Bobby Trunley on pole position. Alongside him is his arch rival in the championship, Lee Hollywood. Row 2 is Chris Alcock and Luke Cousins. Row 3 is Zander Mahoney and Jonathan Purton. Row 4 is Alan Curtis and Alex Pritchard. And then row 5 on his own is Ryan Welch. So Bobby Trunley and Lee Hollywood will lead the field off into the first corner, closely followed by Chris Alcock and Luke Cousins, who will get the drag down towards that first turn, though. That is going to be the interesting thing to find out. So they come around the final corner now. On the right hand side of your screen, it is Lee Hollywood. On the left hand side is Bobby Trunley. Lights out then, and away we go for the final. It's a good start from Bobby Trunley, who immediately gets the advantage. Luke Cousins tries to slow himself into 3rd place, but Chris Alcock's got something to say about that. They're nearly side by side as they go up towards turn 2. Brilliant to see such fantastic racing, and Bobby Trunley getting the advantage immediately ahead of Lee Hollywood. 3rd place at the moment is still up for grabs, but it looks like it is indeed Luke Cousins who's managed to hold on there for the time being. But keep an eye out for Chris Alcock, who's in 4th position as well. He can prove to be very, very interesting. And the likes of Alan Curtis, who's made some good progress from 7th on the grid. He's up into about P6 now as well. So fantastic start from everybody. Very, very clean getaway. But the top 2 of Bobby Trunley and Lee Hollywood already getting the advantage as they go into the turn 9 and turn 10 hairpin complex and the final sector of this lap. Luke Cousins once again in 3rd position. So the top 3, an exact repeat of the 3rd heat that took place earlier on here this afternoon at the Daytona Tamworth circuit. But Trunley already coming under pressure from the 2nd place man of Lee Hollywood once more as they go across the timing line in towards the first corner. It's Alcock actually in 3rd place, now ahead of Zander Mahoney. So Luke Cousins has actually lost out and is now down into P5 on that opening lap. So a real shame there for Luke Cousins, but Alcock holding on to P3. Zander Mahoney in P4 at the moment. He's looking very, very racy. Is Zander. He did a great job earlier on here this afternoon, but Bobby Trunley with the fastest lap on the opener there, with Lee Hollywood for company. A slight gap breaking out to 3rd place of Chris Alcock, and Zander Mahoney trying to put the pressure onto the 3rd place man of Alcock at the moment as well, but he's just got no answer to his pace at the moment. Meanwhile, into the turn 9 and turn 10 complex once again go the leaders of Bobby Trunley and the 2nd place man of Lee Hollywood. But Lee looking very, very quick. These two are arch rivals both on and off the circuit, and it always provides an interesting dynamic when they're out on track. Such fantastic racing we're usually treated to. Across the timing line they go and in towards the first corner. Meanwhile, Alan Curtis right down the rear end of the field, also succumbing to a bit of pressure from Jonathan Purton in P6 as well. Alcock with the fastest lap though in P3 last time around. So the 3rd place man of Chris Alcock, he sets the fastest lap with a 56.9. Then comes Zander Mahoney in P4 as well. He was a 57.2, whilst the top 2 are battling and lapping in the 57.1 lap bracket as well. So already quite a distinguishing amount of pace between the 2 leading drivers in comparison to the rest of the field. Meanwhile, here comes Alan Curtis, who's right down in 6th position. He's coming under pressure from Jonathan Purton, and just behind Purton is Alex Pritchard as well. Into turns 9 and 10 they go. Here comes the kart of Jonathan Purton. Will he try and be able to make a move? He looks around the outside into turn 10. He tries to get the switch back into turn 11. They're side by side between them, but no way through. Meanwhile, the two leaders are going absolutely hammer and tong. Here comes Bobby Trundley, and here comes Luke Cousins as well. Chris Alcock in third place. It's incredibly close between them, and still the second place man of Lee Hollywood holding on into second place at the moment. But Zana Mahoney also tried to get in amongst the battle there. They were incredibly close going through the final corner, and Bobby Trundley just managed to hold on by the skin of his teeth into the left-hander. They go off turn 5. Incredibly close racing we're being treated to here at the Daytona circuit at Tamworth. Here comes the second place man of Lee Hollywood. He bumps his way through, tries to bump his way through into second place, or into the lead of the race I should say, ahead of Bobby Trundley, but he's just got no opportunity to do so. Alcock holding on to third place, bit of dust being kicked up as well as they go in towards turn 9 and turn 10 once more. It's Trundley from Hollywood, from Alcock at the moment. Into the final corner they go, still very, very close between them. Trundley versus the second place man of Lee Hollywood at the moment. Then comes Alcock, then is Zander Mahoney, who's just a kart length or two back, and then it's Luke Cousins who's holding on to a quiet P5 in this race as well. And Luke has been setting some good pace over the last couple of laps, but just doesn't seem to have the pace to be able to make an advantage over the rest of the field. But Trundley with the personal best lap time of 57 flat over Lee Hollywood last time around. Lee Hollywood was a 57.2. Chris Alcock was a 57 flat as well. So the third place man of Alcock could be in contention for a very, very good podium here this weekend in the final of the intermediate class. Of course, following this we'll have the heavies, and that is going to be one interesting affair. We'll tell you more about that later on. But right now it's Bobby Trundley defending his lead from Lee Hollywood. Alcock in third place, incredibly close between them as they go through turn 10 and then into turn 11 once more. Look at the different lines they're taking as well, and look how different their driving styles are as well. It's Bobby Trundley with a bit more aggression on the steering wheel as opposed to Lee Hollywood, who looks pretty calm and collected, but he's very close through the first corner. Is Lee Hollywood trying to find a way through as they go through turn 2 and up into turn 3, looking left, looking right, looking every which way he can. Through turn 3 they go, the sweeping right-hander, and then downhill as the circuit cascades away, and they try and find a way through, but no way through for the second place man of Lee Hollywood. He's at the fastest lap last time around, and he got a great exit as they came across the timing line once more as well. An absolutely brilliant race we're being treated to. Bit wide there through the left-hander for Bobby Trundley. Will that allow a little bit of an opportunity, a bit of a sneaky move for Lee Hollywood, maybe into turn 9, thinks about it, but Trundley goes defensive and tries to get the switchback, does the second place man of Lee Hollywood once again, but no way through there unfortunately, and all the while these two are battling. It's allowing Chris Alcock to close right up onto their rear bumpers as well, so we could potentially have a three-way scrap for the lead going on before the end of this race. Over the timing line they go and in towards the first corner once again. No way through for any of the drivers, still as you were as they came across. It was Trundley from Hollywood from Alcock, then Zana Mahoney in fourth place as well, who's a bit out of touch with the leading trio at the moment. Then comes Luke Cousins as well. Keep an eye on Luke, he's a bit of a dark horse, but there's a bit of a gap back to Jonathan Purton in P6, who has also managed to get the better of Alan Curtis on that last lap as well. But Trundley leading the way at the moment, the young 17-year-old. He's having a great run so far, really honing his skills in the Daytona DMAX Championship. Lee Hollywood, he came onto the scene earlier this year and he's been quick out of the blocks, so let's wait and see how things go. So just a note to all of the heavy drivers to please make their way to pit lane. That's a note for all heavy drivers to please make their way to the pit lane for the start of your final race. Meanwhile, into the final corner comes Trundley, leading the way from Hollywood, from Alcock at the moment. Over the shoulder look for Trundley. Into the first corner we go. Brilliant to see such amazing racing. Let's go on board then, shall we, with the third place man of Chris Alcock and have a little look at this battle. We go on board with him now into turn 3 and over and into turn 4. Down the hill, cascades away from the circuit. And really interesting to see the off-camber nature of that corner, but you can see how hard Hollywood is pushing in front of him, and you can see how hard that Trundley likewise is trying to bridge that gap and build that gap actually to Lee Hollywood in second place, but he just doesn't seem to have an answer to his pace. All three are lapping within a few tenths of a second of one another. It's incredibly good to see. So Trundley leads the way from Hollywood from Alcock. Zander Mahoney as well, looking pretty good there in fourth place. Keep an eye out for Luke Cousins in fifth as well. I keep mentioning about him, but you never know what could happen in this race. All the unexpected things usually happen in motor racing, let's be honest. So into the final corner comes Bobby Trundley from Lee Hollywood in P2. Then it is Chris Alcock in third position. Into the first corner we go to start one more lap. Lee Hollywood with the fastest lap last time around, all over the rear bumper of Bobby Trundley like a rash. No way through for him to find an opportunity though. Unfortunately, into turn 4 they go as the circuit goes away from them. And Trundley just holding on to that lead, defending his lines absolutely beautifully as well. Meanwhile, further down the order, Alan Curtis in P7 has managed to hold on pretty nicely to that little position there. He's managed to get himself ahead of Alex Pritchard. He's still behind Jonathan Purton at the moment, but he's sitting out there leading a bit of a lonely race, it's got to be said, but he's not under any immediate pressure. But back out with the front leading trio of Trundley, Hollywood and Alcock into turn number 9, and then into turn 10 they go. And here comes Chris Alcock as well. He's really piling on the pressure now to Lee Hollywood, and Hollywood is again going to be there in that really unfortunate position of attacking and defending at exactly the same time. Turn 12, the final hairpin they go on the circuit. No way through for anybody at the moment, as you were, as they come across the timing line once more. Trundley from Hollywood from Alcock once again. Into turn 3, the trio go. They're just managing to gap ever so slightly Chris Alcock on the opening sector of that lap, and here comes Hollywood trying to find a way through against Bobby Trundley. No way through for him at the moment. Meanwhile, Zander Mahoney all out there on his own in P4, leading a bit of a lonely race, but having a good one so far. He'll be in for a good haul of points, of course, finishing with 40 on the board. Of course, normally in the heats, it is 25 points apiece, whereas in the finals, it's double that. It's 50 points for the victory, 45 points for second place, 42 points for third place, 40 points for fourth place, and so on and so forth as you go down the order. Meanwhile, brilliant to see such defensive driving from Bobby Trundley. He's really having to defend now from Lee Hollywood. Into the final corner we go. The trio of leaders of Bobby Trundley, Lee Hollywood and Chris Alcock as they come across the timing line once again to start another lap here at the Daytona circuit. No way through for any of them at the moment. Great defensive driving from Bobby Trundley, great defensive driving from Lee Hollywood, and great attacking also from Chris Alcock in P3. Zander Mahoney, meanwhile, in P4 gets himself a personal best lap time last time around. Really looking very confident and calm out there on circuit is Zander, having a great race so far in these beautiful conditions at the Daytona Tamworth circuit for round 9 of the TW Steel DMAX Championship this weekend. Down the hill they go into the middle sector, the trio of leaders. Zander Mahoney, meanwhile, closing on to the back of this trio as well, so that could prove to be very interesting if one is able to make a bit of an advantage. Let's wait and see. They'll come over to start their last lap, of course, very, very shortly as well. Looks like they'll get one more in as well before their last lap, so they'll have 2 more laps worth of racing. So Bobby Trundley into the final corner, leading the way. Penultimate lap here at the Daytona Tamworth circuit. Looks behind at Lee Hollywood, sees what his plans are into the first corner. It wasn't an attacking plan for Lee Hollywood. Chris Alcock, though, holding on to P3 absolutely beautifully as well. Just dropping off the back ever so slightly of that leading trio, but we've seen that take place so often over the course of this weekend, and proving to be very, very interesting indeed. But Bobby Trundley leading the way. What a race it is turning out to be for the young 17-year-old. He's having such a good run in the DMAX Championship this year. And of course, claiming the victory in the Endurance Inters Championship earlier on this weekend, and of course claiming the victory in the Heats Championship as well. It's looking very, very exciting to see whether that will indeed take place. Into turn 10 we go. Trying to find a way through to start their final lap of racing. There will be in just a couple of moments' time. Into the final corner then we go with Bobby Trundley and Lee Hollywood going across the timing line into the first corner for the final time of asking, will Lee be able to find a way through? Will Chris Alcock in third place be able to launch a move? Or will Zander Mahoney be able to pick up the spoils if anything does indeed occur? It was Hollywood with the advantage. He had the fastest lap last time around, but it's Trundley with the track position. Will he be able to find a way through? It's going to be very interesting to find out. Into the left-hander on the middle sector of the lap they go. No way through for Lee Hollywood there. He has to hold on for a couple more corners if he's going to think about a move. Into the middle sector, the sweeping S-bends they go through now. Oh, Lee Hollywood's looking a bit of a move. He's trying to find a way through against Trundley, but he's not going to be able to find it through there. Single file through this right-hander, maybe into the turn 9 hairpin. He's going to try everything he can. He's braking as late as he dares as they go in towards turn 10. Will he find a way through? Will it present an opportunity? He tries to get the switch back out of the corner, but can't quite make it stick. Into the final couple of corners we go. It's going to be Bobby Trundley then. Oh, very close to the line. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Bobby Trundley versus Lee Hollywood, and Lee Hollywood takes it to the line. Lee Hollywood gets it on the line ahead of Bobby Trundley by 0.2 of a second. My goodness me, Bobby Trundley. Oh, when he drove a valiant race, it was a brilliant effort, but it was not to be, unfortunately. Lee Hollywood managed to hold it out. right at the very end. He takes the victory. Bobby Trundley finishes in second place. Chris Alcock also on the podium in P3. Xander Mahoney finishes that race in fourth position. Luke Cousins comes home in a good top 5. Jonathan Purton finishes that race in 6th place. Alan Curtis comes across the line in 7th position. Alex Pritchard finishes that race in 8th place. And then Ryan Welch rounds out the top 9 competitors in the field. So we're here with the podium finishers for the inter-final race. So let's talk firstly to the 3rd place man, Chris Alcock. Chris, talk us through that race for you.
The start was fairly uneventful. Broke through, had a bit of a challenge from Luke on the first corner, but broke him down the back straight, and then it was fairly quiet. Every time these guys, I got close to them, I got over ambitious and dropped off like three or four lengths. 3 laps, catching back up, same wash, rinse, repeat. It was like a bad race from my point of view. I should have just took my time and made the move count when I had a chance, but fair play to them, they drove well.
Happy for a podium though?
Oh yeah, as far as the championship goes, I think I posted on Facebook earlier that I wanted a 3rd place to try and get 3rd overall. I've got my 3rd place, I can't be disappointed. Yeah, good day out.
Great, thank you very much. Let's move on to talk to the 2nd place finisher within that, Bobby Trundley. Bobby, talk us through the race from your point of view. Very valiant effort, but it all came down to the last corner and 94 hundredths of a second.
I gotta admit, it was a great race actually. I kind of lost it at the end though, because to me I felt like I got a little bit of pumped, but I've seen the video. It wasn't fair play, mate, fair play. But I kind of got a little bit too angry at the end. But I got to admit, I tried park my car everywhere right. That's all the time I was trying to do that. You kept on getting little runs you did, and I was like trying to park it, but you just got the better run out of them, second last, and just plain and simply got around down the inside out.
Can we say that? Can we say that? Okay, fair enough. That is a good ending. I can't top that.
Let's move over and talk to Lee then. Lee, tell us about that race from your point of view. You must be ecstatic to take the victory.
Yeah, to be honest, it was good. I came here feeling like certainly after the last round disaster that was the black flag. I did feel kind of as welcome, I suppose, as a Ku Klux Klan member hosting the Mobos. So I did think probably not going to be the best liked person here today, which is fair enough. But they all made me feel welcome. It was close though. It was like proper defensive masterclass by Bobby. I literally could not get past him, and the only way I was going to get it was the last corner. And to be honest, ironically, I was going to dive him up the inside. He went up the inside, and I thought, well, I'll just do a switchback. And it was just, I think I had slightly longer legs. I think that was what done it for me. It was so close. But a really good race. I mean, Bobby done amazingly. I mean, I think coming out of this hairpin, he absolutely nailed it, and he was pulling 2 or 3 kart lengths on me just down this one little straight here. And as soon as I followed him, I caught that back up, and I thought, right, okay, I've got him now. But it was tough. It was a tough race, so he done really well. In fact, we all did well, so it's a good result.
Well done, thank you very much. So that concludes a fantastic day's worth of racing here at Daytona Tamworth. Thank you ever so much for watching, and remember to book your place on the grid, visit the website or call this number for more details.